for a character to die. It reminded me of how Johnny went out in the regular universe, where he just like, everybody expected Ben to die. They're like, he's gonna get his powers back, and he's just gonna go out fighting, and he's the thing, and blah blah blah. But then Johnny stepped up, and he was able to to take control and actually have like this mature moment where he's just like, Ben, you my best friend. You're gonna stay here, and I'm just gonna, sacrifice myself. And that was a very touching part.
Yeah, that was really good, emotional.
Yeah, exactly. Especially how he went out. He was just like flame on. And you see it in his face, and you see like the waves of enemies coming at him. It was just so powerful, and that really got me too. And I feel like this death of Peter Parker was just as emotional.
Yeah.
And even in the fallout, where you had the funeral, and it was just a big funeral, and everybody came out to show their support. And people was talking about how, Peter Parker saved, how Spider-Man pretty much saved them or affected them, and then how characters was going through stuff. Like, I didn't expect that. I thought it was just going to be a wrap-up.
Yeah.
Where it was like...
I especially love the part with the little girl.
Yes.
He saved from the fire, I think it was.
Yeah. Like, I'm not really that emotional of a guy. But I almost shredded like one manly tear down my cheek. Yeah. Because that was so touching when the little girl asked Aunt May if she want a hug. And I was like, please hug her. Because that was just, oh man, that was just so powerful. And I'm sure a lot of people, when they was reading it, felt the same way. Because I thought it was just going to be like, oh, here's his funeral. Oh, everybody's sad. Okay, it's done. But no, it had so many touching moments, and it showed how he affected a bunch of different characters and how important he was to the universe. Because you had Rogue dealing with the whole no mutants and the death of major X-Men and pretty much the end of the X-Men and all that kind of stuff like that. And then you had other characters that were dealing with it. I know the best one that we were talking about beforehand was Nick Fury.
Oh yeah,
that was another good one. That was another powerful moment.
That hit me even more than the little girl. That was
because you don't expect Nick Fury to be like when I think about Nick Fury, I think a hardened military man. He's in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
He doesn't take any shit. He just do what he have to do to protect the country. But in this one, where he was just like, Peter was like a son to me, and I wanted to groom him to become the greatest hero. And then he cried. I was like, oh my god.
And he said it was his fault.
Yes.
Like, they're just in the middle of a conversation, and he's just like, I loved him. I'm like, what?
Exactly, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
that was just so touching, and it just like I like Ultimate Nick Fury more than I like the regular Nick Fury, and that part just made it clear why I like him more.
Yeah,
because he seems more like a down to earth character rather than just this military man always scheming, always plotting.
Yeah.
He just seemed like a regular guy, because you could see how Peter's death affected him, getting his job back, having to do all the cleanup from Ultimate Comics Fallout. And, how he was kind of like not talking to anybody, and he was just kind of like just walking around and just looking at stuff. And he had like, you could see the sadness in his face. And it was just, Bendis knew really how to, pull that emotional string and kind of get that reaction from you. And I believe that was just so powerful. And so even though Peter's dead, he had a good run. I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man has been going for 10 years.
160 issues, right?
160 issues, which is more than most comics get. I know Deadpool only got 69.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it was a great run, and it's one of my favorite comic books. It's been consistently great for so many years.
Yeah, that's what got me into comic books.
It's just such a great story, like such a great universe that Bendis made, and it's just gotta be one of my favorite comic books, because I can literally sit there and just read this for hours and never be bored.
I couldn't stop reading this. As soon as I started, I was ready to shell out some more money to get them. And I found your channel. I was on my computer for hours.
Exactly, and then when you're doing something for hours and you're still enjoying it, that's how you know it's good. And that's just Ultimate Spider-Man in a nutshell. It's just a very, very great comic, and I believe that everybody should read it. Like, if you haven't been reading Ultimate Spider-Man, then you need to pick it up, because it's one of the best comic books that's out there right now. And and it's just so good. So everybody's been affected by his death. Us, the readers, people in the comics,
Yeah.
So that's how it's powerful, and I'm looking forward to see what Bendis does in the future.
Yeah, me too.
And I want to see where this new Spider-Man goes. I want to see how he will etch out his legend in the Ultimate Universe. Will he just be another superhero, or will he have like the same treatment that Peter got, where he was able to work his way up just from a guy wanting to do the right thing to a great hero?
One thing I don't want to see though in the new one, I really don't want them to start with him being a menace again.
True that.
That would just be weird. Like, new Spider dude, and he's evil because he saved someone.
I feel like if they did that, so many people would claim racism.
Oh, yeah.
They would be like, "What? Everybody loves Spider-Man. Is a black Spider-Man? Now everybody hate him. What's going on here?" It's just like, I know a whole bunch of little internet people would just be making up stuff. That would be with the big thing. I was like, "Really, guys, calm down."
Well, Spider-Man's black. They gotta say that he did.
Exactly, that he's stealing money from the bank. So I don't know. I don't think so. I wonder what they're going to do. I feel like most of the heroes will be affected by the new Spider-Man, where they'll be like, "We knew Peter. Who are you to try to take up his costume?"
Yeah,
I feel like
they pointed that out the first time you see him. Like, it's in bad taste to be wearing that. He just died.
Exactly. So I feel like Bendis might focus more on the other characters, hopefully, because I enjoy the universe so much. It wasn't just about Peter. I like the other characters that was in there. You had Bobby, you had Johnny, you had Kitty, MJ, Gwen. Even though Gwen and Aunt Maiden moved to France, apparently.
Yeah, I still don't get that. It doesn't even seem like in their character.
That's another thing. I'm sorry, I just got real loud. But that was another thing, because Peter just died. I think it might have been like a week or two after he died, and he was talking to Iron Man. And he was like, I'll send you anywhere if you don't want to be at your house, because all the, photographers and stuff like that was outside the house. And then they seem to get like real happy. It's like, where are we going to go? I will go to Paris. I will go to...
She's like, I will never leave this house. I don't care how many times they're outside. To the next one, they're like, yeah, let's go to Paris.
Exactly. They was like, what, people outside? Fuck everything I was saying. I don't care. Then they just
left. Literally, the thing is, she's holding Peter's costume. She's like, screw that, and just threw it back on the bed.
Yeah, she was sleeping with it. I was like, oh man, that's sad. Then she's just like,
that was sad. Then she wakes up, she's like, oh yeah, how are you doing, Gwen?
Exactly.
Like, wow.
Also, I thought it was pretty cool that they changed Gwen's look.
Oh yeah.
Because she had the whole blonde hair and like, what do you call it, emo girl look, I guess.
Oh yeah.
For a long, long time, and I feel like
the spiked jacket and all that.
Exactly. I feel like they're trying to actually distance herself from like the amazing Gwen, even though she didn't last that long. Well, actually, she was.
I don't really like Gwen that much in Ultimate.
You did?
Yeah.
She was all right, I guess.
She was cool at the beginning. Then the whole blaming Spider-Man for that. I never got that, because they proved it was an imposter. I mean, I understand grief, but come on, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, she seemed kind of extra emotional. She was just like, I don't care. It's a guy in a Spider-Man suit. So I hate all Spider-Man. And then, I didn't like her for a while for that, but I did like how it affected Peter. Like, it was cool just seeing that, because I mean, she didn't know that she was hurting him so much, but you could see how it affected him. And it was just like, he got to kind of redeem himself, and he had to take down the imposter, all kind of stuff, man. It was interesting, but I do understand what you're talking about. Gwen was kind of whiny for a while and dealing with all this stuff, and then I hate Spider-Man, and then that was this.
And when she got good was like right before Carnage, the whole thing with Carnage. I don't know if I spoil it, but spoiler alert, she gets killed by Carnage for a while. Like, it's just that I was really sad when she died.
Yep. It was.
And then when she came back, I'm like, why?
I don't know, because I was sad. I was kind of, upset that she died, because I was like, yeah, cool, Gwen's here. And, she didn't die by getting her neck broke or thrown off a building or whatever. I was like, alright, so they're going to have her as a regular character. Then the whole Carnage thing happened, and I was like, well, what? Yeah. And it happened in their backyard, and I think, her and Peter have an argument or something?
Yeah, I don't think so.
He had
was looking for Peter, and it just... I don't remember how it happened exactly.
Yeah, it was so long ago. Like, I think it was Ultimate Spider-Man, like 60 something, and that was a long time ago. So I can't really remember, but they went looking for Carnage was looking for Peter, and went to his house because I think it had some lingering memories from when he was wearing the Venom suit.
Yeah.
And he went to the house and he saw Gwen, and then she was like, "What?" And she told him off, and he grabbed her and then like sucked the life out of her. And I was like, "That's kind of a gruesome death."
Yeah, I know.
Like turned her into a mummy.
Anyone's gonna die like that.
Exactly, just turned her and mummified her, and I was like, "Oh damn!" And then
I mean, granted, getting your neck snapped isn't really that good either, but come on.
Yeah.
But, a lot faster.
Exactly. So I was like, man, that was kind of messed up. And then I think Aunt May was the first one to find her.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, come on, ain't they good? You know, they went through so much. And then, you know, Gwen died, her father died, it's a whole bunch of stuff. Uncle Ben, there's just so much stuff going on in the Ultimate Universe, and it's just so much, like, that's why I'd just be sitting there thinking, like, Peter Parker goes through the most shit.
Yeah.
Out of every hero.
And when it happens in Ultimate, you feel like it's natural, like it's, like when you watch like Brand New Day, it's like, oh, well, this happened because the writers needed something to shake it up. In Ultimate, you get a new situation, you feel bad for Peter, but you don't think it's gimmicky.
Yeah, it feels like it's natural and helps the story.
Exactly.
It doesn't feel like you're just, you know, doing this for the sake of, okay, I need to get to this plot point. Or I need to do this so that this can happen so I can make it, you know, do like that. That's what I kind of feel. And I don't know if you read Avengers Academy.
No, I haven't.
No, but that's, like, Avengers Academy is good. It's very good. I like the character development and the characters. But I feel like a lot of things that they just do in the comic book is there so that something else can happen. Like, the character will do something extremely stupid that seems out of character. And, you know, normally it would irritate me. Because it just seemed like, they just seem to, like, fuck up shit for no reason. Like, they'll just be sitting on down, and then she'll be like, you know what? I don't like this, so I'm going to go over here and do this, or something like that. Or, oh, I feel insecure about myself, so I'm going to blow up something, or mess with something in here. And I'm like, why? But then, the thing that pulls me back, that doesn't make me just hate that comic book, is the fact that every time they do something, even if it seems out of character or just weird, it always leads to something interesting. And just crazy, that you're just like, oh my god, this is fantastic. So that's why I've been reading that book. And I feel like in Spider-Man is different, where everything just feels natural. Like, you know these characters. They've been in this book for a long time. You know their personalities. You've seen them go through so many things that everything just feels natural. Like, everything just how they have it is how it's supposed to happen. I can't see it any other way. And
one thing that is kind of random that I kind of hated in Ultimate Spider-Man was, I think it was in Ultimate Comics, they had an entire issue devoted to him getting a haircut.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people were complaining that Peter's hair was stupid because he had like the short hair in the back and he had the long plumps in the front. And I guess Bendis was like, all right, I finally listened to the fans after 100-some issues. Peter's going to get a haircut. The problem with Peter getting a haircut, well, it wasn't really Peter getting a haircut. It was the fact that having an Ultimate Comics Spider-Man where the art was different.
Yeah, it looked. I couldn't tell him apart from Bobby.
Yeah, that's what I was like. At first, you know, the plumps were like the only thing that was kind of making him look different. Like that was Peter because he had the hair. Then after he cut his hair, he did look straight up like Bobby until Bobby cut his hair, and then he had like the skinhead. Yeah. And then Bobby started looking like Bobby Hill from King of the Hill.
No, I liked how I couldn't tell Johnny Storm and Flash Thompson apart until he dyed his hair.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be those little subtle details that Bendis probably knew that he had to do some people.
Like I'm like, why is he hanging out with Flash? And he was like, oh yeah, I can light myself on fire. I'm like, oh.
But it's just how Bendis does the character interaction, the dialogue, the story, and all the emotional parts. It's just so good because I feel like